But this is a website called mappingpoliceviolence.org. I highly recommend checking it out. According to their data, which, again, we don't know if it's complete. I always cite this. Look at how they presented George Floyd's murder. They said a man died of a medical incident or something. It was not like as far as the report said, they didn't even, they walked onto the scene and someone was dead in the gutter. That's how they reported George Floyd's murder, right? And so, again, this is probably an incomplete list because oftentimes, whenever it's possible or convenient to do so, they will just lie and say that they didn't do anything, right? But here is a website, mappingpoliceviolence.org. According to their statistics, police have killed 978 people in the year of 2021. And as you can see, if we zoom in on North Carolina, we can see the situation that we had here with Andrew Brown Jr. And I'm going to get into the protest recap from today in just a second. But again, I want to look at more of these statistics. There have only been 12 days all year so far where police didn't kill anyone. 12 days. And again, it's impossible to know if these statistics are complete. So, but again, look at this. Black people are more likely to be killed by police. 3 times more likely to be killed by police than white people. 1.3 times more likely to be unarmed than white people. Police killed black people at higher rates than white people in 47 of the 50 largest U.S. cities. Chicago police, for example, killed black people at 22 times the rate of white people from 2013 to 2020. So again, with that being said, I wanted to share that website because I think that kind of stuff is important. But then also, I'm going to get into the protest recap. I believe it's been 232 days. Honestly, I've been really bad at keeping track of this. But here in Elizabeth City, as you can see on that little map there, in Elizabeth City, Andrew Brown Jr. was murdered by the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department on April 21st, 2021. And again, the details of this case are damning. The warrant wasn't signed. They knew ahead of time Andrew Brown Jr. would be unarmed, right? They went in 7 sheriff deputies with assault rifles. They shot into neighbors' houses in a school zone at 8:30 a.m. And then immediately after shooting Andrew Brown Jr. in the back of the head, they didn't think to administer medical attention. Nope, they let him bleed out and die on the pavement, right? Now, chances are he was already dead, but still, they let his body just kind of simmer in the sun, right, on the pavement for hours while they were tampering with evidence. Sheriff Deputy Daniel Meads, immediately following the shooting and killing of Andrew Brown Jr., shot him in the back of the head, by the way, immediately went about and modified his magazine, hiding the amount of shots that he fired and lying to investigators about it. So, again, we're seeing a situation right here where police are out of control. They're out of control. And I want to look at another statistic here as well. Look at this on mappingpoliceviolence.org. There is no accountability. 98.3% of killings by police from 2013 to 2020 have not resulted in officers being charged with a crime. So again, it's one thing for them to be charged and to get off. 98.3% of the time, cops don't even get charged. So I want to go back to the story of Andrew Brown Jr. in Elizabeth City. Again, I want to ask you a question. If I am working at, Happy Taco, and I bring an AR-15 to work, and I shoot someone in the back of the head, am I going to get charged? Yeah. Am I going to get convicted? Yeah. But how come all of a sudden you work for the government and you get to kill anyone you want? Huh? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't it be more likely for a private citizen to get off on these kinds of things than a state worker? The government gave them the gun. The government was in charge of training them how to use that gun. Shouldn't they be held to a higher standard of accountability? But 98.3% of the time, nothing happens. So we're seeing the situation where after Deputy Daniel Meads modified his magazine and lied to investigators, right, then they got paid vacation. All of them got paid vacation. Robert Morgan, Daniel Meads, and Aaron Llewellyn were 3 of the 7 sheriff deputies who fired their weapons and assassinated Andrew Brown Jr. Aaron Llewellyn resigned. No charges. But he resigned, and now he's going to go get another job. Robert Morgan and Daniel Meads got paid vacation for several months. They got to kick up their cankles on the coffee table and watch the latest season of whatever the fuck on Hulu and Netflix. And then, when they got back to work, guess what? They got a raise. The Pasquotank County Board of Commissioners gave the entire sheriff's department an increased salary budget. They got a raise after assassinating Andrew Brown Jr. That's a hitman right there, right? They were paid to murder someone. Andrew Womble, the district attorney with, unfortunately, that has the same name as Andrew Brown Jr., Andrew Womble said, and I quote, "We couldn't let him get away." So let me get this straight. They knew he was unarmed. They couldn't let him get away. They murdered him and then got a raise. Doesn't that sound like legalized assassination? Doesn't it ring a bell? But wait, there's more. The Pasquotank County Board of Commissioners threw down the drain, set on fire, 69,000 U.S. taxpayer dollars on bringing in an outside organization called Police to Peace so that we can change the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department officers and deputies to peace officers, like out of 1984. Oh, it's all right. Robert Morgan, yeah, he killed your brother, your best friend, but he's a peace officer, bro. It's all good. What? He's a peace officer, but he killed someone. He's a peace officer, right? Recently, we had a Christmas parade in Elizabeth City, and the Pasquotank County Sheriff's Department had a float. Who did they decide to put on their float? Who did they decide to give a prominent platform? Robert Morgan, the murderer and assassin, the hired, paid hitman of Andrew Brown Jr., was parading around, dancing around Elizabeth City, a free man. If I, on April 21st, went to Bojangles, right, with my AR-15 and killed someone in the back of the head, would I be parading around on a Christmas parade in December? No, I would be in jail because we are held to a different standard than police. Police are allowed to do whatever they want. All they have to do is summer camp. So you go to summer camp, 8 months, you don't get trained at all, you get a gun, you get to kill anyone you want. Then you get to go parade around, you get to get free vacation, you get to have free overtime while you sit in your squad car and chew tobacco and do nothing, you get to take a nap, free overtime, you get a higher salary, you get on a fucking float, you get the parade, you get free coffee, you get this and that and this and that. All you have to do, summer camp. Fuck this country, fuck America, fuck police, fuck Pasquotank County, fuck Elizabeth City, fuck this whole goddamn country. It's awful. Anyone, and I mean anyone for a second, who would possibly ever think any of this is okay is a psychopath. They are a psychopath. They are a fucking terrible, disgusting garbage bag of a human being. Again, according to mappingpoliceviolence.org, 98.3% of police killings, they don't even get charged. Fuck that.